Hey boys and girls, today is Wednesday. It is March 10th and we get to play a very fun game today. So I'm really excited to play this with you guys. Before we do so, I do want to update our calendar collector. So go ahead and spin for you guys. Ooh, you guys get 1/2. That's the biggest fraction on this spinner. So maybe you can catch up with me. And then I'll spin for me. Bummer. 1/12. The smallest fraction on this spinner. I don't like what I'm seeing, but that's okay. That's our calendar collector for today. And then I could show you our calendar grid just to see if it continues to add 3. And I'm hoping that you guys are starting to think about what the program is, and if not, it's okay, because we will figure it out very soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is today though, so if you figured it out, maybe keep it to yourself or share it with your teacher what you think it is, and he or she can confirm your thinking, and then I'll confirm it in a later video this month. So while that's continuing to load, let me go ahead and tell you to get out your number corner workbooks. You will need a pencil and, if possible, 2 colored pencils to play this game today. So here's our calendar marker, and yes, it still adds 3. 10 goes in, 31 comes out. Wonder what that rule is. So once you get it out, open it up. You'll have a student book page. I might be page number 70, and we are going to play a game called Don't Break 3. And that's 3 holes, or you can think about it as $3, whatever makes the most sense to you. So each team is going to get 3 spins, not 3 spins, 3 rolls. And when we roll, we're rolling, each roll, you roll 3 dice. Okay? 2 of them have the numbers between 1 and 6, and 1 has the numbers between 4 and 9. When you roll all 3 numbers, you're going to have to choose which number you want to take in tenths, and we'll record it here on our fraction for tenths, and then color it in one color. And then whatever two digits that are left, you want to organize it in a way that it becomes hundredths, but you don't want to go over 1 if possible, because since we have 3 rounds, we want to not break $3 or 3 holes. Which means if you go over 1 here, then you're going to have to do some compensating during your next rounds. Okay? So I know I probably just gave you an earful. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about by having me go first. Again, we're going to roll these 3 dice. We choose one of the 3 numbers to be tenths, and the other 2 numbers will combine somehow to make hundredths. We'll add them together to figure out how many hundredths we have. And after 3 rounds, we want 3. So in each round, you want to try to get as close to 1 as possible. Are you ready? Here is my turn. I will toss those dice and toss this dice. So it looks like I have a 5, a 2, and a 6. So I may take my 6 and make that my tenths. So I'm going to take 6 tenths. So I want to get as close to 1 hole as possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm left with the digits 5 and 2, and I could make 52 hundredths, or I can make 25 hundredths. If I were to make 52 hundredths, I'm going over 1 hole. I don't want to go over 1 hole if I can help it. At least maybe not my first round. So instead of making it 52 hundredths, I'm going to make it 25 hundredths. Let me get the correct pin here. So now I'm going to represent my 25 hundredths with a different color. Maybe blue. So here's 10 hundredths, here's 20 hundredths, and then 500. So what is my total? First of all, I need to create an equivalent fraction for tenths and hundredths. Remember, we did that the other day. So 6/10 is worth how many hundreds? Or 6 dimes you can think about. Good, it's worth 60 cents. So I got 60 cents, 60 hundredths. And I already know I had 25 hundredths, so 60 plus 25 would give me 85 hundredths. And I'm going to write it as a decimal. All right, makes sense? All right, perfect. So now we will spin for you guys. You don't want to go over 1 if possible, but we also want to get as close to 3 without going over 3 after a total of 3 rounds. So I'm going to go to this page over here, and this will be your page that I'm recording on, and we're going to spin for you guys and do the exact same thing. So here we go. Toss, toss. All right, what are you thinking? I'm thinking you guys got some really good numbers here. So which one do you want to take out in tenths? You only really have 2 choices, a 6 or 4. All right, so we can take 6 for our tenths. And I'm going to represent my tenths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just doing this to shade it in as quickly as possible, just to make sure that we're using our time efficiently together. All right, which leaves you a 4 and a 6 left over. Would you want to make it 64 hundredths? You'd be way over 1. So we can make it 46 hundredths, which means y'all are in really good shape. Because even though you're over 1 whole, you're not that far over 1. And maybe you can compensate for it later. So here's 10, here's 20, here's 30, here's 40, and here is 6. So now let's create our equivalent fraction so that we can add our numbers together. 6/10 is the same thing as how many hundredths? Good, 60 hundredths. And hopefully you guys are doing this with me in your number corner workbook. And then we already have 46 hundredths, we know that. So 60 plus 46 gives us a total of 106. And we can write it as an improper fraction, that's okay, which is 1 whole and 6 hundredths. Right? All right. So the funny thing is that's actually one of the examples in my teacher guide. That combination, well, the answer of 1 and 6 hundredths. So that I thought that was interesting that you guys got it. So now it is my turn. And I'm here, so I'm gonna toss and toss. Ugh, these numbers are not great. I don't like them, but that's okay. So clearly, which one am I going to take as my tenths? 4, because I only have a choice between 4 and 3, and I want the bigger number because I'm trying to get as close to 1 as possible. And then for my hundredths, I'm going to make the larger number of these 2 digits, which is 43 hundredths instead of 34 hundredths. So I'm not too far off, but that's okay. So here's my 40, or my 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can do my 43 hundredths. Here's 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths, and then 1, 2, 3. So what is my total? I have, here's easy for me to see, 50 plus 30 is 83. I know I have 83 hundredths as my total, but I want to write my first fraction, my 4/10, as an equivalent fraction for hundredths. It's one of the standards for 4th grade. You need to know how to do that. Good. 4/10 is 40 hundredths, 4 tenths, 4 dimes, 10, 4, or 4 tens, okay, which is 40 hundredths plus 43 gives me 83 hundredths, and I just wrote it as a decimal, and it's really close to my answer. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. All right, it's your turn. Remember, you should be filling this out with me in your student workbook. Let's toss. Toss. Ha ha ha. You guys got the same digit. Which is not a bad thing because you guys already went over one whole. So you are closer than I am. Maybe. Let's fill yours in. So we can take 4 tenths. There's no discussion about that here because we have the same digit, so we really don't have to reason about anything. And let's label it with 2 different colors. So I have 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, and then I have 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths, 44. So before we figure out our total, let's create our equivalent fraction for 4 tenths. What is 4 tenths equivalent to? With a denominator of 100. Good. 40 hundredths, and maybe you remember that from my spin. So we have 40 plus 44, which is 84. And I can write that as a decimal like so. So you guys are doing really good. Miss Trammell is behind, so I got one more try to get as close as possible. Let's see. Here we go. Here's my spin. My toss. Toss, toss. Now, let me talk to you guys about these digits. I can think in my head, I know 80 hundredths and another 80 hundredths would be $1.60, or 1 and 60 hundredths. Then I have another 800, so I have 1 and 68 hundredths. So because I'm trying to get to 3, I could put my 9 in my tens place, because that's really close to 1. And then I could make this 53 hundredths, which would give me a total of, let's see, I got to think this through before I make a decision. 9 tenths, which is 90 hundredths, plus 53 would be 1 and 43, plus my 1 and 68 would be too much. I would go over. Yikes, this is a hard decision. So maybe this is what I'll do. I will take my 9 still in the tenths place. And let me represent my 9 hundredths. Uh-oh, my lights have a mind of their own. Okay, so here's my 9 tenths, which I could also go ahead and write as being 90 hundredths, because hopefully you guys are really good at writing those equivalent fractions between tenths and hundredths at this point. And then my other 2 digits, I'm going to make 35 instead of 53. Because if I were to make 53, I'd be over and I'd automatically lose the game. At least I'm getting closer to 3 holes, because I don't know what you guys are going to spin on your last toss. So 90 plus 35 is going to give me 125, which means I have 1 and 25 hundredths. All right, so now I got to cross my fingers for when I toss for you that maybe you get some crazy numbers like I just did and have to make a really hard decision. So let's see. All right, here it goes. Drum roll, please. Toss, toss. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Do you want to put 9/10? Now let's think about it here. You already have one hole in 600s and then 8400s, which means I have one hole in 90 so far, because 84 plus 6 is 90. So I can only have one hole in 10 hundredths, or 1 and 10 hundredths, or 1 and 1/10 left in order for me to get to 3 without going over 3. And so I got to figure out a way to use these digits. So I don't want to put 9 in my tens place, or you shouldn't put 9 in your tens place. Hopefully that's not too big of a hint. Hopefully you already recognize that. So, what do you think? So maybe, okay. So I'm thinking that you're probably thinking one of two things. You'll put 6 in the tens place and do 39 hundredths, or you'll do 3 in the tens place and do 69 hundredths, which is kind of going to give you, it's going to give you the same thing. So 6 and 39, which is going to be 60, because 6/10 is 60 hundredths, plus 39. And if you would have gone the other way, it would have been 30 plus 69. Same combination, well, at least the same answer, same sum. So now let me show it on my grid here for you guys, just for those of you who are still struggling or may need some more support. I'm showing my 6/10 first. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that dark line in the middle just helps you see groups of 5 easier. And then I can show my 39. Got 1, 2, 3, and 9. We're really close to a hole here. So 60 hundredths plus 39 hundredths gives me 99 hundredths. I'm thinking that you guys may have won. I don't know. We got to total it up. So you guys have to find the total for your 3 rounds. Go ahead and add it up while I add up my total, and then we will compare. Okay? So my total would be 85 hundredths, 83, and 125. So I got 85 hundredths. I'm going to write it this way. 85 hundredths plus 83 hundredths plus 125 hundredths. And hopefully you guys are solving for yours. I'm going to solve for mine. 5 hundredths plus 5 hundredths is 10 hundredths, plus 3 is 13 hundredths. So I would have to put my 1 in the tens place. And then I have, so it will be 3 here. And I have to put my 1 up here. And my 10th up here. 8/10 plus 8/10 is 16/10. 17, 18/10, 19/10. So I'd have a 9 here. And 19/10 means I have another hole. So that would give me 2 and 93 hundredths. Yeah. Beat that. Did you guys find your total? Did you win? Oh, I didn't. Okay, 1. So yours was 1 and 6 hundredths, 0 and 84 hundredths, and 0 and 99 hundredths. So what'd you get? Okay, so 9 went in your hundredths place. 8 went in your tenths place. Yikers, I'm getting nervous. And 2 goes here. Did I win? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So now we gotta compare the numbers, even though we clearly know who won. Miss Trammell, because she's amazing, right? Okay, so let's write a comparison sentence here. So you put your score and then fill in your symbol versus my score. And I'm going to do the same on mine. So it would look like this. Your score was 2 89/100. My score was 2 93/100. Which means that was a good game though, right? I thought it was really fun, especially because I won. But even if I didn't win, I like that we had to really think about what was going on. So we'll play this game again, and maybe we'll add like a variation to it this time. We'll see. I'll let you know the next time we play. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow on Thursday for another video, another day of Number Corner. Bye.